I really like this idea of self-promotion is self-preservation, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do it.
There is. And you bring up a really good point, is that if you're the guy who walks around and is like, oh, I worked so hard. Oh, you know what? I worked 15 hours yesterday. Okay, you suck. I don't want to work with you. You're a clock watcher, and I can't. That's not what we're talking about. It's not that level of, oh, I'm working so hard. It's look at the things that I'm doing. It goes back to measurables. I created a thing called a State of the Union to where each week I would send out what we did last week, what we're doing this week, where are labor numbers, where our opportunities for capturing sales would be, and then I'd follow up with a mini one halfway in the middle of the week to see where we're tracking. Do we have to cut labor? Do we have to adjust this? Where are sales? All of these things. But then that was also celebrating what I was doing to try to capture more sales and decrease labor and increase the guest experience. Mm-hmm. That's self-promotion, not the person who walks around and goes, oh, and I didn't put that in
we
the
all
book,
know that person,
Adam,
right?
But I really that's so many people who do that. And I really should have put that in the book. So, maybe version 2, surprise again.
Yeah,
I'll definitely throw that in there.
Yeah, I think back to even when I was in on property and I had people reporting directly into me. There was a distinct difference between the people who, there's a lot of ways that you can self-promote, air quote self-promote, in other words, be in your manager's face, promoting yourself, right? Kind of getting as much face time as you can get. Mm-hmm. And those that brought ideas to the forefront always got a lot more attention than the ones who just came in and complained about all the things that were wrong, but never offered any solutions. Not even an idea of something.
It seems so basic, but it's so true. Is that if you are somebody at any position, at any level, that's just pointing out problems, then there's no good benefit for. It's great that you're recognizing challenges, but if you aren't the person that's developing solutions, then that's really, really the challenge. It's kind of what I do with my consulting company. Is I go into a place and figure out what the challenges are and kind of develop strategies. My very, very first job that I ever had, I gave them an entire analysis of everything that was wrong, and I'll never forget it. The owner looked at me across the table and goes, Ken, I don't need an alarm. And I was like, yep, got it. I figure out all your problems. Now let's talk about solutions. And that is so core to being recognized as being good at what you're doing and worthy of promotion, is bringing that solution that people don't.
Yeah, and that person who's not naturally inclined to do that, to not come forward with options, with solutions, even just highlighting issues that need to be fixed, because that does. There's probably an element of extrovert introvert here with this, right? And like you said earlier, people are taught and trained throughout their entire lives to just sort of keep your head down and get your work done. How do you suggest that those people get the benefit of what we're talking about today?
I think it has to be gauged in exactly what that is, because when you're surrounded by those extroverted people, and when you mention it, I think of that level of anger, for lack of a better term, the number of times that you'll be working as a manager and when your staff members will come over and go, this is still wrong, this is still broken, and they're upset. It's obviously a challenge for them operationally, but it's trying to hold you to task. So that is a communication, an important communication, because it's better than not saying anything at all, but that is also someone who is expressing their emotion and opinion to try to get you to, in a very driven, angry sort of way. And if you're working alongside that person and you see that, speaking out, having ideas, promoting yourself by discussing the opportunities is really couched in, aggression or people that are just really freaked out, then you might not be willing to do that. Mm-hmm. So back to your question, it's very probably focused on understanding the times in which to do this and the solutions. It's not to go off on a tangent here, but every single place that we've ever worked has always said that they have an open door policy, every single place, but then someone will walk over to you with a great idea in the middle of service, and you'll go, not now, because you got 15 other things. And then it's like, oh, no, you don't have open door. Well, you do, but you have to figure out the times. You have to figure out when you're available and present to listen. Because just like with training, when you're going through training and you have an entire class of people, they're walking in knowing that they're going to have to be open to learning. Well, when you're opening your door and having open door conversations and being willing to listen, then you have to be open for that. So if you are on the other side of that, trying to promote yourself as well as better the business, you also have to pick your times. And you have to figure out when that person is going to be present. And to me, the majority of that is emails. Because simply I know that when I open my emails, people are going to communicate with me, and I have to be in a headspace to listen to that. Yeah. That's different than being on the floor or a text message. Those seem a lot more immediate.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And it gives the person who's wanting to communicate a frustration or an idea a chance to kind of think through it and word it in a way that makes sense, rather than just sort of, this vomiting words out in the middle of service, or if
right,
they're
or I've got a
intimidated
great
by their
idea.
supervisor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some of the biggest success that I ever had with this was just setting one-on-one meeting times with everybody. It could be a weekly check-in, it could be a bi-weekly or monthly check-in, and I mean, even down to the hourly level, even just 5 or 10 minutes of one-on-one time where you can just check in with the people that report to you and see how they're doing, see if they have anything that they want to talk about. And I mean, oftentimes that's where some of the best ideas and the best service enhancements came from, was those conversations. Because those hourly people, they're the ones on the front line. They see what's broken, and they oftentimes have been talking about it for a long time, and collectively amongst them have come up with solutions.